ruling party politicians. I think former Congressman Don Manzullo understands the trade political dynamics. So same is true of Korea. So we are very keen in acceding to TPP negotiations. As the centerpiece of the United States rebalance to Asia Pacific, we welcome the role the United States is playing in TPP. As TPP is a regional extension of high-quality Coros FTA in the Asia Pacific region, Korea's participation in TPP will make enormous building block and great partner to the United States and the region as a whole. Thirdly, the implementation of Coros FTA has expanded the scope and depth of Korea-US relationship. The free movement of professionals will further facilitate this relationship. Now we are seeking professional visas for high-skilled Koreans. We are aiming to achieve country-specific, Korea-specific H-1B visa quota through legislation. There are a lot of friends of Korea in the Congress, including President Manzullo. So we are quite optimistic despite the gloomy outlook on general comprehensive immigration reform. There are currently more than 70,000 Korean students studying in the United States universities at the graduate and undergraduate levels. This is a third-ranked country in the world. The first two, China with nearly 200,000 students, and India with 100,000 students. Both countries have population that are nearly 30 times larger than Korea's. So despite such a small country globally, on a per capita basis, Korea sends more college students to the United States than any other country in the world. And that, I think, reflects Korea's strong interest and belief in the United States. And our firm belief in a close partnership that exists between our two countries. I believe that this trend will accelerate in the future, particularly as the benefits of Coros FTA are more fully realized. Also, President Park Geun-hye's emphasis on creative economy and President Obama's policy on innovation will intensify people-to-people exchange with the United States, particularly in the STEM fields that will be vital for future economic growth. The professional visas will allow US companies to take full advantage of Coros FTA, maximizing potential for bilateral investment and trade in services. This is why we call Coros FTA win-win. As said, the faithful implementation of high-quality Coros FTA, Korea's joining TPP, professional visas for high-skilled Koreans are three economic areas Korea is focused on for the benefit of both countries. I'm confident that outlook of Korea-US relations is really bright indeed. Thank you.
Let's see if I can get this to work. Can everybody hear me? No? Louder? Pick it up? Oh. What if I just speak louder? Okay. You can hear me now? All right. This is actually awkward. All right. So thank you very much for your incredibly warm welcome.
Introduce your dad.
You guys keep stealing all of my thunder. Well, my family is over here. My father is actually a member, William Rosner, a member of the Cleveland Council on World Affairs, and apparently my brother is also an intern here. So I think he's getting credit to watch his big brother speak. He currently goes to Shaker Heights High School. I went to Orange High School a while ago, but still. So my name is Zachary Rosner, one of the four Rosners here. And I would like to thank you for your incredibly warm welcome. I want to express my appreciation to the Korea Economic Institute and the Cleveland Council of World Affairs for hosting me here today. It's my pleasure to sit next to KEI President and former Congressman Manzullo and Korean Economics Minister Kim, as well as Ambassador Hodges. So I'm really in some impressive company here. Our close communication and positive relations with our Korean counterparts at the embassy parallel the strong relationship between our two countries. And I would just again like to reiterate how great it is to be back here in Cleveland. Every time I come back, I still go to Corky and Lenny's. Don't tell anybody, but I just realized that this hill behind me on the golf course is where I used to sneak to go sledding in the winter. If you look out there, it's actually pretty steep, and there's a nice creek at the bottom. And as heartbreaking as it can be sometimes, I'm still a diehard Indians and Cavs fan. I even still have my Shin-Soo-Choo bobblehead sitting in my dresser at home. So today, I represent the Korea desk at the State Department. But I'm not a typical State Department employee. As Congressman and KEI President Manzullo said, I actually am a neuroscientist by trade. I am what's known as a AAAS Fellow. That's the American Association for the Advancement of Science. They take science PhDs and place them in policy positions in the congressional and executive branches. So I actually spent the last 10 years as a neuroscientist. Just 12 months ago, I was at UC Berkeley scanning people's brains using MRI, trying to figure out how human memory works, and now I'm 3 months into a foreign affairs officer position at the State Department. So I'm the Environment, Science, Technology, and Health Officer for the Republic of Korea unit. And this position, the fact that I even have this job, represents the truly comprehensive and evolving relationship between the US and South Korea. 10 years ago, our relationship was much more security focused, and my job just didn't even exist. But in the last few months, I focused on issues of climate change, green growth, science cooperation, health security, and civil nuclear cooperation. And that's exactly what I want to talk about tonight, our increasingly comprehensive global partnership with the Republic of Korea. Our military forces in Korea, which we know as U.S. Forces Korea, often use a symbolic Korean phrase to describe the cooperation between U.S. and Korean forces, 같이 갑시다, or we go together. We go together accurately describes the foundation of our alliance in the shared sacrifice of the Korean War, where U.S. troops and Korean troops fought side by side from Incheon to the Chosin Reservoir. And I do know that we have some of those people here today. Today, as we work together to modernize our strategic alliance and maintain peace and security on the Korean Peninsula, the words "we go together" could not ring truer. As we celebrated the 60th anniversary of the Mutual Defense Treaty between the U.S. and Republic of Korea and the 60th anniversary of the Korean War Armistice in 2013, the presence of 28,500 U.S. troops stationed in Korea alongside Korean forces demonstrates our continuing, unwavering commitment to the defense of Korea. While our commitment to peace and security on the Korean Peninsula remains as strong as it was 60 years ago, the challenges we face have only grown more complex and global in nature. From efforts to address climate change to consultations on information and communication technology, our alliance is constantly evolving to meet these challenges. Our alliance has moved from one focused primarily on security to a truly global partnership, providing prosperity for both our peoples and increasingly for people around the region as well as around the world. So I'd like to discuss a few of the ways that the U.S. and Korea cooperate, how we're working to build our global partnership, and some of the challenges we face in the region and beyond. So first, I'd like to highlight the strategic importance of our robust trade relationship between the Republic of Korea and the United States. And I know Minister Kim already discussed KORUS, FTA, as well as TPP with you a bit, so I'll only touch on it briefly. It's been nearly 2 years since the U.S.-Korea Free Trade Agreement, or KORUS FTA, came into force. In a 2010 editorial, the Cleveland Plain Dealer endorsed the KORUS FTA, predicting that the reduction of barriers to trade would help more U.S. manufacturers, including automakers, gain increased market share in Korea. Our bilateral trade now tops $100 billion annually. The United States is on pace to double its foreign direct investment to the Republic of Korea this year. And from our side, we've seen increases in sales of everything from Florida orange juice to Ohio soybeans. Ohio has benefited directly from KORUS. Korean duties on Ohio's major agricultural products were eliminated immediately. Within 5 years, nearly 100% of Ohio's auto exports will enter Korea duty-free. U.S. automakers are gaining market share in Korea. As KORUS enters its second year, we continue to work with Korea to ensure that KORUS is not only an exemplar of high standards in negotiation, but also a model of full and successful implementation that maximizes these benefits for both sides. And we're seeing the benefits of this investment right here in Cleveland. In the largest deal with a single investor for a Cleveland Clinic spinoff, Cleveland Heart raised $30 million from a private equity group in Korea, a Power Heart Consortium. Given our close trade ties, we naturally welcome Korea's expression of interest in joining the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a regional free trade agreement, our top economic priority in the Asia-Pacific region. As Secretary Kerry noted recently, a shared commitment to economic growth and innovation is part of why the TPP agreement is a cornerstone of the President's economic policy in Asia. We're also working together with the ROK to conclude a successor civil nuclear cooperation agreement, also known as a 1-2-3 agreement, that will reinforce our strong commitment to nonproliferation while continuing our mutually beneficial civil nuclear trade and cooperation. We're in the process now of modernizing our alliance with the Republic of Korea to meet the new threats of the 21st century. Our cooperation today addresses not only the traditional security and economic priorities of a bilateral alliance based in the Asia-Pacific, but the complex challenges facing our two countries as members of the international community. When President Park visited the United States in May 2013, she and President Obama agreed to strengthen our efforts to address global challenges from climate change to humanitarian assistance. In 2013, the United States and Korea held bilateral dialogues on climate change, energy security, cybersecurity, counterterrorism, and more. The ROK has also strongly supported international efforts to find a political solution in Syria and to destroy chemical weapons, and has been an active partner on the Iran nuclear issue. The ROK was also a leading contributor of humanitarian and recovery assistance to the Philippines following the devastation left by Typhoon Haiyan. It is our cooperation on these and many other issues that demonstrates the truly comprehensive global nature of our partnership. Finally, the people-to-people ties between the U.S. and the Republic of Korea are stronger than ever. As Minister Kim alluded to, Korea sends over 70,000 young people to study in the United States every year, and the number of U.S. students going to the Republic of Korea continues to rise. In fact, as of 2011, there were more than 2,000 Korean students enrolled in Ohio colleges and universities. The relationships formed between the young people of our two countries are important investments in the future of our alliance, helping to lay the groundwork for the next 60 years of partnership and shared prosperity. And in 2012, we saw some impressive Korean maneuvers. We saw great coordination, we saw impeccable timing, and the perfect execution of complicated moves. I'm speaking, of course, about Gangnam Style. I know, I cringed when I wrote that and when I just said it. But how many people here have seen it? Don't be too embarrassed, you can raise your hands. So you can count yourself among the people who have viewed that video now 2 billion times. 2 billion. As of just last month ago, the number of fans of Hallyu, which means Korean Wave, a reference to the worldwide popularity of Korean pop culture, reached 9.3 million, with the number of official fan clubs worldwide close to 1,000. The spread of Korean pop culture around the world is yet another sign of Korea's increasing global significance. While we've seen extraordinary progress and see enormous potential in our bilateral relationship and around the region, we do face some challenges as well. First among them is the threat by North Korea's continued pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missile technology. One of the overarching issues that unites us not just the United States and the Republic of Korea, but the entire international community, is our combined work in response to the threat posed by North Korea's continued pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. Washington and Seoul will continue our close coordination on all aspects of our DPRK policy, which is aimed at achieving our shared goal of denuclearization of North Korea. We are also mindful of increased focus in the region and in the United States on tensions resulting from historical and territorial issues in Northeast Asia. We recognize that sensitivities are particularly high, but we believe it is within the power of the governments and the people concerned to lower tensions, to lessen political strains, and to find ways to handle historical issues with sensitivity and with respect. We believe that there are common interests that unite all the countries in the Asia-Pacific region. Those common interests should be the foundation for building trust and goodwill. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present the picture today of our important, comprehensive, and global relationship with the Republic of Korea. As I mentioned earlier, the U.S. forces in Korea use the phrase "같이 갑시다," or "we go together," to describe our shared sacrifice and continued strategic cooperation. But I believe this phrase represents not only a description of our strategic alliance, but a vision for the future of our global partnership. From Cleveland to Daegu and from Washington to Seoul, let us continue together. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all three of you. There were a few tense moments yesterday when I wondered if we would be here tonight. So I'm very glad that you made it, and you've given us some very interesting insights and especially thoughts about the future of Korea. I'd like you to remember your visit to Cleveland with something musical that we are very proud of our Cleveland Orchestra. And so we hope that in the future you will be thinking about us too. Thank you.